And for those of you watching, if you share my video and comment, I put you in the drawing for a to win the card. So I have this card to give away, and I'll give away the masculine one also. So share my video and leave some comments so that we can all get ideas. But this is the card we're going to make today. So I chose, and I'm going to move this over to right about there. I chose to use, for the masculine version, the Dragonfly Garden. And I used the open Dragonfly only because this would be really dark on there and I don't want it dark. But I am pulling in a piece of Granny Apple Green. So I decided to use Granny Apple Green. And I am going to put a paper underneath. Oh, I don't want that one. It's messy. You won't be able to see. You'll be focused on the mess and not the card. Let me pull out another sheet. All right, so there. All right, I'm putting a sheet underneath because I'm going to stamp off. You want to stamp off because it kind of looks like pattern paper that way and gives your card some interest. So I've got my stamp and my ink, Versamark. If you don't have this in your collection, you need to get some because this is going to make the stamping on this card. It's not ink. It's just the Versamark, and it creates a watermark. So I'm going to ink this up and stamp it on here. Now, you won't be able to see anything for a while, and my pad looks horrible, but it still works, so that's the key. And I'm going to stamp all over, and as this ink dries, it creates that watermark on your card. So it's a good ink to have in your arsenal of supplies. All right, let's see. Let's have this one come down like so. And one more down here in this corner. And I think I'm gonna do him this way and he'll go off. Now, I've got a spot here. This one I didn't worry about. I left it because it was a, and I think I'm going to leave it at that. There are some open spaces. Yes, it does, Sharon, and you can get a refill for it and re-ink your pad. Like I said, this still works. It looks horrible. And I have one that looks worse than that. Look at that one. And it still works. The ink doesn't come off. So, but there's my card. And I'm going to take, and I'm going to kind of clean my stamp because I'm going to use it. All right. So I've got that. Now, this has to dry. So while it's drying a little bit, I'm going to go and I'll put my card together and do my sentiment. So my base is Granny Apple Green. Okay, and get my bone folder. All right. This piece is 3 3/4 by 5. Now, all the measurements I post afterwards, so don't worry about trying to remember it. And this piece is 1/8 of an inch smaller. So it is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. Right, I'm going to put this on my card, and I left my bottle of glue over at my other station. I have 2 stations. I have this one where I do my filming, and I have my one where I do my designing. Only because I don't want to have to reset this up every time. So this one just stays set up for my filming. And you're going to put this on your card base, and you're going to center it side to side and top to bottom. So there, I've got that. Now, I wanted a different sentiment, and that meant I had to adjust this piece. This piece was based on this sentiment. This piece is based on my sentiment, And I'm using You Are an Inspiration on this one. And I'm going to stamp it in my Granny Apple Green. All right. And I'm going to pull my scrap paper back over here so I can see. Oh, I grabbed the wrong one. I grabbed Thank You for Your Kindness. Hold on. All right. So I will be changing, I think my paper may be too big. All right. Let me check and see. All right. This might be a little bigger than I need it. I don't know. I'm going to stamp it in the middle and we'll see. If I have to cut it down, I will. All right. If I don't stamp it straight, I'll be cutting it down. And I didn't. Okay. So what I'm going to take and do is pull in my little trimmer. All right. Let's see what I can get here. I'm going to come down just a bit. I'm using this brown mark and I'm trying to line up the top of my sentiment. Let's see if that worked. It moved on me. It may not be straight. And it's not. All right, let me get this side straight. It'll be close. All right. I don't want it too small. I'll trim that other piece up later. And I'm not going to do that side, but I am going to go back and I'm going to trim this side a little bit better because it's a little bit off. And this time I'm lining the top of my, I'm trying anyway. I'm using my 1-inch line to line this up. There we go. Much better. All right. I'm so glad I stamped that before I put it on my card. And I didn't put anything. All right, now this is dry enough that I can go ahead and put this on. If this isn't dry, when you put it on there or flip it over to put your adhesive on the back, it will smear, which will mess up your card. So make sure it's dry, and if you need to, heat it with your heat tool. All right, and then this is, I'm going to move it a little bit. Okay, come on. There we go. That's better. Okay, so there is my card. This goes on with dimensionals so that you have some interest on your card. I'm going to put my pen back in my glue. And naturally, I forgot to check. So give me a minute to cut some dimensionals. Okay, here we go. Dimensionals on the back. And I wanted some, this one had just a tiny little bow, just a little bit of interest. You don't need it. I can't find, oh, there it is. I was gonna say, I can't find my pokey tool. It was behind my pencil. But okay, make sure you put this on straight. And I put it right in the middle, like so. And then I thought, I would really like something on here. You don't need it. What would be perfect would be Dragonfly trinkets, but we don't have any of those. We have Bumblebee. So you could always do the background of the Bumblebee. So I'm going to add a knot of this glitter ribbon, only because a dragonfly is sparkly and shiny, and I'm using a knot rather than a bow because a knot is a little less formal than a bow and a little less feminine. So I have my knot, and I'm going to put it on with a glue dot. But like I said, you don't need to, and to make sure my knot stays, I'm putting my glue dot on the back of this ribbon and the back of that ribbon, and I'm going to add it right there in the corner. I got to angle it just right to get those glue dots. And there it is. Quick and easy, and such a cute idea, and minimal supplies. So you can do this with Versamark over and over again, because all you need are your stamp sets in different versions, and you can create a bunch of them. A great card to mass produce so that you can share them with anybody. So it says I only have one watching, so I don't know. Again, Facebook does funny things when you're doing Facebook Live. People are talking about how they started in the landscape, and before they knew it, it was portrait. So it's hard to say. But there's my idea. Clean and simple, easy to do, and a great card. And this would not cost extra to mail. I did use dimensionals under there, but the rest of it is flat. Even the bows, you have a tendency to get a flatter card if you use a knot versus a bow, because you've got that knot there. So what do you think, guys?